Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever. All in politics video for you guys today. I know I've been running behind on these, man. I look, dude. There's so much stuff going on, especially when it comes to Trump, with President Trump. Sorry, but there's so much stuff going on. It's just hard to keep up. I've said this in other videos, and the reason I keep on saying it is because it's true. If I didn't have to work, man, if I didn't have a life, right? If I could do this full time like other people can, dude, I could post videos like all day long, right? Different cuts, get some good editing equipment, man. Take some of these meetings because I can't do all of them, right? Because they're so super long, and then break them down to the parts that I want. Dude, I'd actually put that time in. And I know I say that on my channel all the time. You know, this is predominantly a gaming channel, and then I crossed over to pop culture, and then I'm doing pop culture and politics. But this is something to me, man. It's just I just absolutely love this stuff, man. I've been into politics for a long time. Always have been. Kind of kept it separate from my other personas online. Hey, what's up, Faded? Just doing a quick little podcast, man. I'm gonna share some videos, man. Give some commentary. Feel like I need to because I've been falling behind on this the politics of pop culture stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff out there, man. I don't know if you're keeping up with that, if that's your thing, but if it is, man, it's amazing to watch, dude. Today we saw a special edition episode of The Apprentice with Donald Trump and JD Vance tag team on what's that boy Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, which is interesting, man, because Ukraine finds themselves in a unique position right now because we went through an administrative switch. If you guys don't keep up with politics, this is why voting is so important. This is why voting matters. And I know a lot of people feel like, well, does it affect me directly? Ultimately, it will. You know, a lot of the stuff that's going on right now on the global stage. Yeah, see, Faded. Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was watching this stuff. I was listening to commentary on it. Just a lot of different viewpoints on it. Of course, if you skew a certain side, right, and some people accuse me of this as well, I just found it entertaining. And I do have my own personal beliefs of our footprint when it comes to being a global superpower, right? Because we are the lone global superpower. This country is anyway. And I just, dude, if I could have, I was listening to this on my break at work, definitely not enough time to absorb everything, but I got to catch a good idea of what was going on. And then now that I'm at home, right, the interesting thing is when you listen to things as sound bites and stuff like that, it does skew a certain view. But I do recommend everybody to watch the full conference because it was actually pretty cool, for the most part. Right. And I it's interesting to me because the focus is on the smackdown that happened later on. But for the most part, the president and the vice president were actually very cordial to Zelensky, right? And Zelensky being in the situation that he's in, especially with a new administration, he's between a rock and a hard place. But, that's honestly, man, I just be honest with you guys, that's not really our problem. One of the issues I have with people online, they're like, they're our allies. Why aren't we helping them? I'm like, dude, they're not our allies, right? Supposedly they're a democratically free state, so we have that in common. But other than that, dude, we don't have any really relationships with them outside of some of the stuff that I hear, which that could be questionable as well, right? But as far as us having any treaty, it's not like the treaty we have with Japan. It's not like the treaty and the relationship we have with Israel or Taiwan or South Korea or anything like that. It's not on that level, and that's what a lot of people get mixed up, right? Because at the end of the day, right, when anything goes down on this globe, in the world, man, it's always the U.S. that's going to have to step up and do something about it. And like, I'll be honest with you, man, I don't have a problem with that. I think we as a superpower have a responsibility. Now, I'm not saying we should go in and do some of the stuff that we've been doing, and then especially after coming on the last two Democratic presidencies, man, we had a whole other different vision. In fact, it's because of those other two presidencies that we find ourselves where we are now, right? And there's going to be, look, dude, there's going to be a toll to pay, right? You can't keep on doing some of the stuff that we've been doing in the world and not expect for it to come back and bite us in the ass. And that's what's happening right now in some aspect, right? Because there's people that are in the country, I'm pretty sure they see the people in Ukraine suffering, man, America being the country that it is, that they want to help. But at the end of the day, I mean, common sense and practicalities gotta come to the front, man. Because like there's people I was talking with now, man. They're like, yeah, we should go help them. We should go help them defeat Russia. Russia's bad, But as I listened to these people, I was like, what do you really know about Russia? What do you know about the country of Russia? What do you know about their politics or their president, right? What do you know about their mark on the global arena, dude? And it doesn't take me long to kind of dismantle some of these people's arguments, because they don't go past what they're told in the news media. And when the news media, right, especially in our news media, dude, everything on our news media is anti-Trump, right? And what did they try to do? They tried to tie Trump to Russia, 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 constantly, right? And in doing so, they painted this false narrative that people believe, right? And so I'm dealing with these people online, and I'm like, okay, so what do you know about Russia? Where do we stand with them? Why are they doing what they're doing? Right? Why are we doing what we're doing? You know. Another thing, I was talking to this girl. I follow this girl. This girl's she's a former liberal. Now she's more on the conservative side. But she was thinking that it would be in our best interest to help the people of Ukraine. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great to help it, but are you willing to? She's a young girl, and I'm like, are you willing to go fight a war for this country, to free those people? Like, who's gonna do the fighting, dude? You gotta read the temperature in the nation right now, dude. And on the simple fact that we broke, we are broke, dude. We're like super broke, man. Our deficit is ridiculous, dude, and we can't keep on doing this stuff. We just can't, man. At some point something's gonna fail. Something's gonna fall, right? And that's why right now we're paying heavy prices, because we're taking drastic measures, man. I'm in that crossfire right now, right? With funding and federal funding and federal jobs and big government and tariffs and all this kind of stuff, dude. We come to the point of no return. Like, either we do it now, or eventually, man, this whole thing collapses, and then you can't help anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, Faded Blaze says the liberals are in shambles. Yeah, dude. It's funny, Faded, because a lot of them have come over to the other side, because they can't stay on their side, because their side got overrun by leftist, communist, socialist, Marxist types, right? A lot of these people on that side, dude, they're absolutely crazy. They're absolutely nuts. Dude, they can't think. They can't think like 2 inches in front of their nose, right? and that's bad. That's really bad. So now they're over on the other side. That's why you've seen a lot of them come over and support Trump for presidency. Tulsi, right? Elon. These guys were all liberals, man, right? And then I'm sitting over here on this side watching everything, right? And one of the things I had to do, man, because a lot of you guys, not you, Faded, but a lot of these guys in this MAGA movement, man, they're brand new to the scene, dude. You know what I'm saying? They, just like when we talk about video games, there's old school guys like us, Faded, that've been playing games forever. And you got these young guys coming in, talking about what gaming needs, and why physical is not important, and all this kind of stuff, dude. And I know things change, bro, but they don't have the history or the experience of gaming, right? But they feel like they can just comment on stuff. Right, that's what's going on right now with some of the politicals, bro. And I'm like, nah, dude, you guys need to slow your roll. In fact, I'll share my screen, man, because I want to kick it off with this, dude. Right, and this is what. Let me make sure you guys can see that, dude. So this is what, right, because of the whole everything that was going. I'll cover a couple topics, guys, and then, like I said, this will be short because I want to go play a VOD. And I got I got my manga for Solo Leveling. I got the first volume, and totally blew me away, man. It's all in color, and it's more like a comic book, actually. And I don't know if they did that. I don't know. I'm trying. I told you guys about my struggles with manga, but I got that first volume, man, and I was reading through it, just enjoying it, man. Take it in. It took me back to when I used to collect comic books and graphic novels. So I want to read a little bit more of that. I could actually read the whole thing. But it's interesting because each volume is almost like a part of the show episode, and so I've already ordered a couple other books. But there's other stuff that I want to do, so I won't stay on there too long. But I have to do this, guys. I know I've been falling behind. Some people are kind of like, "Oh, are you not doing this now? Did your politics change?" I'm like, "Nah, dude. I don't think it's hard to keep up with this stuff, man. There's stuff he's doing like every single day, and this is why I want to show you guys this right now, guys. Okay, just let's take it easy. Let's chill a little bit, all right? Okay. And I wrote this. It's been less than 2 months since President Trump took office. Pace yourselves, or you're not going to make it. That's me as an OG political dude sitting back watching all this stuff unfold, man. If you guys didn't hear, the Epstein stuff was released, like phase 1. There was this whole big thing about it, and a lot of people on the right side, dude, they're kind of upset about it. I understand, but I totally understand, man. When you have especially if you've been in for several years, and then you realize how things work there, right? Somebody gets into office, they promise they're gonna reveal all the crooked stuff going on. They're going to make changes, right? They're going to start being responsible, right? Right? You elect these people and they don't do jack, right? Even Trump had that issue in 2016. He came in, he wanted to make changes, but he didn't know how bad it was, dude. Right? He didn't know how deep the swamp was and the deep state, man, and how incestuous everything is in Washington D.C., man. But he learned real quick those first 4 years, man. That when he lost in 20, which I still say they stole that election, right? And then he learned a valuable lesson from that. And and then 4 years after that, dude, right, all the stuff he went through. That's why when he went in on the first day in 2025, dude, when he took office, man, he hit that ground running. And he has not stopped, dude. There's a constant barrage, nonstop. Like he did something today, like executive order to make English the official language, right? And then people, when he does stuff like that, dude, they automatically go to the racist. He's a Nazi. He's a Klan member. And the funny thing about it is, if you look at him, dude, it doesn't phase him. Number one, because he's dealt with it before. Number two, this dude's from New York. He's tough as nails, right? And then number three, he just uses it against you, right? Meanwhile, you're focusing on that. The main reason, there's always a method to the madness, right? And in some aspects, I think he kind of enjoys it, but the method to the madness is that saves the government a lot of money, right? Because if you make it official, then all documentation has to be official, right? Which means you have to spend millions of dollars on translating it to all these different languages. Now, that's on the federal level. Now, on the state, the city, the local, that's different. Like I doubt where I live. I live in Hawaii, and they got like every language in the book is covered, man. I don't know how much money that costs, dude. Hawaii is ridiculous. Dude, our budget is absolutely ridiculous for the small state that we are, but it is what it is, right? But at least on the federal level, it's the same thing with the Gulf of Mexico, right? He put it to the Gulf of America. People lost their minds, but guess not. When they try and stop him from drilling, which is what he wants to do, because we need to make money, man. Right? We need to make money. I know all y'all know this kind of stuff, dude. When you're hurting, dude, right? We all grew up in iced tea. With iced tea, man, you gotta hustle, dude. You gotta hustle. That's what it boils down to. At the end of the day, dude, you gotta hustle. Right? We gotta stop spending, and then we gotta make more money so we can pay off our debt. Right? So we can get in a better place. But yeah, dude, if you're new to this game, dude, just take a chill pill, man. Let things play out, right? All this stuff with the Epstein stuff, man. Doesn't surprise me that the FBI is holding back. Now there's whistleblowers coming out and dropping, because in the federal service, man, you have some people that are also politically charged on one side, but there's also people on the other side, and some people are in the middle that they don't care at all. They just want to make sure that the job is done right, dude. At the end of the day, federal service is a service. It's civil service. Right, just like when you join the military, it's military service, right? You're doing it for the good of the country at the end of the day, right? And there's people like that in there, and now they're coming forward. I was gonna do the whistleblower thing, man, but that's gonna make this video way too long, dude. I don't want to do that. Oh, sorry, guys. You know what? I was on my other thing. Let me stop sharing this. I'll pick up on this. Fade said, I heard that Fort Knox is missing gold. Yeah, that's the next big one, dude. That's what I'm talking about, Fade, bro. Like one thing after another. I can't keep up, man. Like I said, bro, if this was a full-time thing for me, like how some of these guys on YouTube, I respect to them, man, because I don't put in the time and effort that a lot of these guys do. But if you can, man, I know one of my friends, man, he left the job where he was at, dude. He went contractor. Dude, I was thinking, man, maybe I can hire him because he can edit video and all that kind of stuff, set it up for me, and we can just roll with it. I could do this stuff every day if I really wanted to. I'm not saying I'm gonna get people to view me, but that's not the point of it. It's just fun. You know what I'm saying? But of course, reality kicks in. I got a life. I got to pay bills. So, my kids are getting older. That's bittersweet, man. I miss my kids when they were younger, man. But at the end of the day, dude, they're becoming adults and they're working now, so, and going to school. But yeah, dude, easily, bro. This whole Fort Knox thing, I wouldn't be surprised, And the interesting thing is it's catching everybody off guard, man, because nobody's done this, or nobody has been doing this. He's just coming out of the blue with Elon and Doge, and they're like, hey, we want to see this. We want to look at that. We want to count these bricks, right? Because if you saw, I don't know if you saw this, Faded, but I watched this video where they've gone in before, right? But the problem is, they were like when in one of them, there was only in one vault. They didn't really do they didn't really look at the stuff. Like where I work, bro, when it's like, in fact, right now, there's inventory, right? Inventories due. Like if you're a hand receipt holder, like if you have government equipment, right? And you're responsible for it, right? So you got to sign, you got to get a memorandum, get appointment letter. They sign off on it, dude, and then you're responsible for this equipment and everything is registered, right? And then every quarter now, man, they make you go and look for all the stuff, like 100%. Before it was like 10%, some was 5%. Now, dude, it's like 100%. And this is before Doge. They were like, dude, every quarter, man, you got to tell where your stuff is, right? And that's a good thing too, because what that does, Faded, is it makes people like sometimes people sit on equipment, right? They don't want to go through the thing, but you want to get rid of the equipment, and you just want to have the stuff that's in use that you can see, right? And a lot of some of this equipment, man, like I had a hand receipt, dude. Some of that stuff, dude. I had one thing that was like 15, was it 15 grand? $15,000, dude. That thing was, and every time I would go check that thing, dude. Like I'm talking like monthly, I would go check to make sure that thing was in there. It was a big piece of equipment. I don't think it was missing, but you know, you also got to make sure that the stuff is working. If the thing's broken, you have to do paperwork for that, dude. Just accountability is a big thing. But yeah, man, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that to hit, dude. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. I like what Elon's doing, dude. All the stuff that they're doing, all the stuff that they're finding out, right? And again, dude, with Doge doing all that, and this is why, you know, for a lot of the people out there that are sitting there, oh, we should help Ukraine, we should help Ukraine. I'm like, well, you know, who did you vote for in 2020, man? I don't, you know, that's a rhetorical question because I can tell what the politics are, right? And I'm looking at these people and I'm like, well, too bad, you know, we're broke now. So maybe if you guys didn't send money to study, you know, transvestite iguanas in the Amazon, you know, you know, like all of this stuff they're coming out with, that they sent all this money, and you know what it was, dude. It was a Ponzi scheme, dude. It was money laundering at the end of the day. That's what it was. Cygnus, Solo Leveling, yeah, bro. What's up, Cygnus, dude? Solo Leveling, man. That's my jam. Even my daughter, dude, she's like, Dad, stop watching that anime. I said, I can't, dude. It's too awesome. So if you guys haven't seen Solo Leveling, I highly recommend you watch it. I watched it on Crunchyroll. That's the only place I know that it's at. It might be in other places, or you might have to pay for episodes. You know, like how you sell seasons on Xbox, right? But don't quote me on that, dude. Or you might want to wait till it comes to Netflix. But it's probably one of the best, if not the best, anime right now out there, dude. It is absolutely awesome, dude. It takes me back, dude, man, to the Marvel of old, man. Marvel had this, what they call the Marvel style of doing comic books, man, with the action and stuff like that. And of course, you know, being in a modern time. But the last episode and the episode when they're in the dungeon, Cygnus, dude, that was untouchable, bro. And I'm talking everything, man, from the pacing to the way that they presented the story to the action, dude. The animation was top notch. Some of the camera angles I was blown away on. You know, it's an amazing anime, dude. I just got the manhwa or manga. Well, I don't know what it is, dude, because it's in color, right? So I think maybe they might have what do you call it, contracted it out to another publisher, because it's in English as well. Hey, what's up, Sega man, brother? What's up, man? Just doing a little political podcast. I have to do it, man, because today was crazy, man. In fact, I'm gonna play the video here in a second, guys, because I don't want to run too long. But thanks for being here, brother. I'll do a podcast tomorrow, man. I'll shoot you a link. I'll probably just talk about Avowed. Found some other stuff. Or maybe I don't talk about Avowed. I might do a separate video on that. But maybe we could just do a hangout, dude, or do something. I'm trying to hit up Hebot, our brother Hebot, because he wasn't able to. I wasn't able to link him on Sunday, man, because I was just there. I had less than an hour or so. But hey, welcome, brother. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Trump is turning the swamp into a swimming pool. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, it's funny to me, man. There's a lot of people that are upset with Pam Bondi and some of the stuff going on when it comes to the Epstein stuff. I was like, dude, why don't you be upset with the people that's actually doing all the evil, man, which is the FBI right now, dude. These guys are, you know, this is what happens, Faded, man. They've been allowed to do this for so long, dude. They feel untouchable, and they feel like that's part of, dude. You're basically living, dude. You know what you're living in right now, Faded, dude. You're living in like almost like the caste system, but definitely like almost like a monarchy, right? And then I know a lot of people out there. Well, yeah, Trump thinks he's a king. No, he's not. No, he's not. And in fact, a lot of the stuff he does, man, falls within the realm of him as executive power. Right? Remember, guys, Constitution is the ultimate stop for the president, right? And then you have the balance of power, which is different, right? You have the judicial, legislative, and the executive branch, right? Those three branches. But ultimately, everything falls underneath the Constitution, and they're all beholden to the Constitution. Every branch. What the branches do is they balance each other out, right? Like you saw what the Supreme Court did. There's a rogue federal judge trying to block or trying to open up the payments to foreign aid, right? And if you guys haven't been paying attention, dude, foreign aid is nuts, bro. Foreign aid is bad. Look at some of the stuff they're spending this money on. And they've been doing, like I said, they've been doing it for so long. A lot of these guys, dude, they're appointed into these positions, and they act like people that have been appointed. If you go back and look at ancient or old school dynasties or monarchies and stuff like that, where you had the king and then you had all these people underneath the king, the dukes, the duchesses, all this kind of stuff, which you kind of see in right now, right? Right? They had they had titles, they had nobility, paintings of nobility, all this kind of stuff, right? And so they would be like demi rulers, right? And that's kind of what you have. That's what we call the bureaucracy. And again, this is stuff I knew. It's coming to the light now because this is stuff that Elon's exposing for a lot of people, right? Is that you're not actually in control, and your vote. This is what I mean when I talk about on this channel. Your vote not actually mattering, because what's happening is you're voting for a certain person, right? But you're not that person, even though that might be a politician. He's doing what you want to do. He's living up to his promises. He's looking out for your state, your county, right? The representative that you have or a senator that you have, right? But then you have a political party in charge. We'll just use Biden, right? Because I'm going to reference the FTC. And then him and his cronies, they appoint the people they want to appoint. That's the same thing with Trump, like he's doing it right now. That's why certain people are pissed off, right? Because they're starting to pull all the funding, right? You know, the party's over, right? It's time to be responsible, right? So what ended up happening, right, is you have all that stuff going on. And then they appoint these people, right? And those are the people that you can't, you can't really get to because they weren't voted on by you. They were appointed by the people that are in Washington that you could, and even your person you voted for could have appointed that person, right? Because maybe they're running along party lines and all that crap, right? So what ends up happening is you have something like what happened with the FTC, sticking their nose into something that they had no reason sticking their nose in. They could have looked at it, thought about it, right? Microsoft's a big company. Make sure there's no funny business, but they should have moved on because they should have saw everything from the jump, right? Was not anything that they needed to concern themselves with. And then you factor in the fact that they wanted to shut down, they wanted to get involved in all the money they spent. That's what I'm talking about. This is why when people think, why is our deficit so big? This is why, right? At the end of the day, that's why, guys. If you don't know this about me, I'll say it again on this channel. I'm a big proponent of limited government or no government, but you can't go that far. You have to have some form of government, but as little as possible. But yeah, good comment, Faded, 100%. Bro, Democrats are going to lose for a very long time. Yeah, if they don't change, man. If they don't change, And then some people are like, "Oh, that's because you're just on the other side." No, dude. Everything. Look at the most minuscule stuff that people care about, and Democrats support all of it. Right? There's things that Democrats support now that's totally anti against the Democratic Party and why it was founded. It blows my mind to see guys like Bernie Sanders and all these dudes sit there and lecture people on being rich when they themselves have millions of dollars. Right? This is why when they talk about, they don't talk about millionaires, right? They talk about billionaires. The reason they don't talk about millionaires is because they're millionaires themselves. That's the next big thing, dude. That's something I've always wanted for decades, man. I've wanted them to research where these people are getting their money. The people that are elected, man. Now all of them. I don't care what party you're in. People throw that in my face. Oh, you bet you won't do the Republicans. I don't care, dude. If you're crooked, you're crooked. If you're bad, you're bad. If you're stealing, you're stealing, dude. At the end of the day, man, if you're doing something wrong, you need to be held accountable for that stuff. And the stuff that they do is wrong is massive, dude. And again, I say this on the channel all the time. You make $187,000 a year, or what do they make now? $225,000 a year. For most people, that's a lot of money to make that amount of money a year. And a year for them, dude, these dudes, they work in seasons, right? So they're not even working like a full year, like how a person would go work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40-hour day, 40-hour week, right? Every single day. Right? These people don't do that. And they get paid all that money, right? And then you look at the money that they make, maybe they could be worth $1 million at most. Right? But some of these dudes, man, they're in excess of 100 million. And they're not blue bloods. They don't come from that background. Some politicians are like that. But not all of these people are like that, like AOC. How much she's worth, all these other people out there, how much they're worth. Dude, dude, no, right? And if you're in government and you're making that kind of money, dude, it's like 10 to 1, bro. That stuff's gonna be nefarious. Because if you could do it, if you're that good with making money, you wouldn't be a politician, bro. You'd be out in the business world. Dude, you'd be running up stocks, dude. You'd be doing that outside because you can even make more money outside. Why would you work in government for? Right? If you were that good. Right? Because there's no limitations on what you can do. Well, quote unquote, right? There's some legal stuff, the ramifications, stuff like that. But if you're that good, man, that you can take your $187,000 salary and be worth 100 million, dude. That's amazing to me. You shouldn't be. In fact, that's one of the things I would like them to introduce a law. If you're worth a certain amount of money, you can't be in politics. On top of all, they need to get rid of all the lobbyists. They need to get rid of all that crap. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Signa says, I recommend Shangri-La. Oh, I recommend Shangri-La Frontier if you like solo live. Yeah, I was going to check that out, brother. I got it on my watch list, dude. I'm just, I've been playing Avowed and work's been pretty crazy because of everything that's going on with the with Doge. Second man says, I beat the game 2 days. Oh, dude, you beat Avowed? Bro, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome, Sega Man. Because I just got on my third level, my third level gear and weapons or gear, and I'm experimenting with some of the grimoires because I went for a battle mage. But yeah, good job, brother. You the man. It was fire. There's no power grid in the next. Yeah, dude. Again, there's one thing that people can't hit Xbox on is the games, dude. They got a ton, and they're great games. Defunding Ukraine and ending the war is what the people are demanding. Yeah, Pepe. Welcome, number one. Welcome, Pepe. Sorry. Yeah, that's what the people want. That's what the people elected. That's one of the main reasons people elected Trump, right? Because they don't want to be involved in any wars. That's one of the reasons why he got the young vote, man. Because a lot of the young, dude, if we went to war, man, all those people, it's the younger generation that's going to have to fight it. Right? That's why a lot of these people are shocked on election night, dude. Like I'm not like some people are like, well, he didn't win all these groups. It's like you don't have to win every group, bro. But he won sections of it that he shouldn't have won. Right? This is why these people are scared. This is why people use the term mandate because they understand the way the country shifted. Right? And again, I'm 100% with you, dude, because I ain't sending my kids, dude. Because dude, I didn't vote for any of this crap, dude. I voted for Trump in 2020, and then people voted for Biden. So if you voted for Biden in 2020, bro, send your kids. You send your kids, especially all you single white wine moms that live in the suburbs with your $700,000, $800,000 homes. Right? You voted for this dude in large numbers. Or for that, you voted for Biden in large numbers, so you send your son and daughter, man. I ain't sending mine. Bunk that, bro. Because that's something that should not have happened. It didn't have to happen. We're not even, dude. We have no. They're not a NATO country, right? This is why they're trying to get them into NATO so they can force the U.S.'s hand. Because if they get them into NATO, right, they're going to try and force the U.S. to. Because look, dude, if things go down, who's going to go? Who's going to go? Who's going to go? Ukraine and Russia kicks off, right? Who's going to fight Russia? Ain't going to be Ukraine, right? And then England over there barking. England's like, oh, yeah, we're going to send troops and money. Oh, well, but can you fight Russia? No. And every country in Europe, they don't have to band together, and they still probably couldn't beat Russia. And the only thing keeping Ukraine stable is our weaponry, right? And when Biden was in office, dude, we went beyond the pale, dude, launching rockets into their territories. We've never done that before, ever, right? And it wasn't, and that's why, dude, that dude was a puppet, right? It wasn't him. It was this jerk off that was in his administration. The guys that Trump are trying to get now, and I hope he gets all of them, man. They all need to go to jail. It's not just them losing their jobs. All these people are treason. It's treason, bro. These people should go to jail. All of them. Getting us involved in crap just because so they can have their power and their money, man. Horrible. And this is what, and then people lose their lives, right? But yeah, Pepe, good point. At the end of the day, yeah, that's the mood of the country, right? So even if something happened, this is why they're trying to avoid it. Dude, who are you gonna get to fight the war, right? If it escalates to World War III, we're not just talking about Ukraine versus Russia. We're talking about World War III, right? Because everybody's gonna get involved. Right? You think China's just gonna sit there? No, right? Europe's gonna have to go in there. I mean, they can't even check their own borders, let alone they want to help another country. Shoot, I ain't talking much trash either. Up until this election, we wasn't checking our own borders either. So, that's the interesting thing about what was going on in the White House, right? In fact, guys, we'll get to that real quick because I gotta go. I gotta get this out. It seems like majority of avowed criticism leans towards the game not being AAA. I guess, but Cygnus just to let you know, man, because I know you're more on the PlayStation side, but the Xbox side gets that nonstop. It doesn't matter, dude. They always complain about Halo, right? The AAA argument is just something that they use. It's weaponized. Right? And for me personally, since I play the game and I listen to people say that, I was like, you guys don't play the game, so I can't take you guys seriously. If you played the game, maybe I believe you. Because I never looked at it as a AAA game. If they rock out in the Xbox ecosystem, dude, they would know not to expect that anyway. Because Obsidian's not a big developer, dude. They try to grow. This is probably like their magnum opus of all the games that they've done, even though they'll still get a lot of credit for Fallout Vegas. But playing this game reminds me of why so many people like Fallout Vegas. But also playing this game reminds me why people kind of separate the Fallout Vegas fans from the other Fallout and Fallout Vegas fans kind of separate themselves. Right? Amazing game, dude. Good story. There's some stuff in there that I've just discovered that I don't like, and that's why I'm going to finally get my thoughts on it because I wanted to put in some major time, and it is exactly what I thought it is. I got to be 100 on this channel. Nothing, it's not going to be bad, dude. I'm just going to share my opinion, guys. But the game is amazing. At the end of the day, dude, the game's awesome. And do I have critiques of the game? Yeah, but it's not because the game is bad. It's because it's just like number one, dude. You can't, like you play a game like that. When I play a RPG, right, I'm used to just going back and leveling up that way, right? Well, you can't do that in this game, right? Once you clear an area, that's pretty much it. So it forces you to explore, which makes sense because that's what Obsidian wants to. They built a pretty big and creative world, right? And dialogue choices can extend it as well, right? They want you to get into the meat and bones of the game. It's funny enough. The thing that I don't like the most about the game, and I said this in the previous video, and it's not a knock on the actual graphics. Is I don't like the art design or some of the art choices that they made. The game looks beautiful, right? But I'm saying like with the characters, right? And but it's also refreshing because they tried to make something new. Not my cup of tea, right? It is what it is. Would you like to see Obsidian tackle Witcher 3 or Skyrim type production value, but it would take like 8 years to develop? I don't know, man. We'll see. So they got Magnus, they got AI, man. Microsoft did that Nutsoid chip. So, and I think if they did, they would grow. They would. I don't think the synergy is there yet. It's starting to pop in the Xbox studios, if I'm being honest, but it's not there yet. But once it gets there, I don't think it'll take 8 years to develop. Plus, with the tech that they're going to come up with. Um, and then I don't know if Obsidian would want to do that, Cygnus. They're kind of like creating original stuff. That was a very original game. It was definitely one of their games, but it's pretty original from some of the stuff that I played. I know it's an RPG and stuff like that, but like for example, I tried to make a battle with Mage. I didn't get it to where I wanted it to, but it wasn't that. But it was me experiencing what they wanted me to experience. So that's not a bad thing either. And then you just work around it, right? Like I was talking about the leveling up. Right. And the reason I do that is because, like, for example, I have like 5 to 7 grimoires. Right. Some of them are kind of duplicate in some aspects, but others are different, and there's different levels on them. Right? But in order to increase the level on the thing, you gotta have the materials. The materials aren't just lying around everywhere. As you progress through the game, it kind of forces you to pick and choose what you want to use, which is it. That's normally not how I play. Right. But then it also adds replay value, man, because you're gonna go back and play. But yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't think that's something I'm gonna do. But real quick, guys, let me run through this, man, because if I don't, I'm gonna be apologizing to you guys that this thing ran 4 or 5 hours. But again, political podcast, right? So if you guys not into that, I understand. But if you guys check it out, appreciate it. But we're gonna show just a bit, dude, of some of the stuff that was going on in the White House today. But here's something that I wanted to share before we get back to the Zelensky thing. All right, let me blow this up so you guys can see it.
We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship and wealthy.
Dude, I guarantee you, man, he finds a way to put Trump on that bad boy.
People will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to
2
say
weeks.
a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Mr. President, are there
Wait a
any
minute.
requirements for that
Hang on
gold
a second.
card? Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Go
the
ahead.
EB-5 program was really,
I like this guy, by the way.
you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
The gold card,
So you see that right there, man? This is what a lot of people don't understand, because when you first put this out, people was just boom hitting it, and from a negative slant. And again, too, look, dude, don't watch mainstream media. But if you do, man, at least use a little bit of common sense when you watch these people, right? They have an absolute TDS when it comes to Trump, right? But I was watching people react to it, and I reacted too. But I'm more on the positive side. There's definitely people on the negative side, right? But the one thing I loved about it, right, is when you sit down and you listen to how they explain this kind of stuff, right? At the end of the day, dude, it boils down to money. It's one of the reasons people elected him. He is a businessman. But he also explained it, dude, because a lot of people wouldn't know about how we give out green cards, man, or how people can qualify. There's all kind of different programs. There's all kind of different reasons why you can come into the country, right? And then he's just gonna take that and he's just gonna multiply it by 1 million, right? And or should I say 5 million, right? And for all of you guys out there that's worried about those people in Ukraine, there you go. Some of those oligarchs who have that money, right? They can they'll probably buy Trump cards. And at the end of the day, though, I like that I like that one aspect of it. There's some stuff to be cautious of, and I love to hear the fact that look, they're just not going to be handing this out willy nilly, so that some bad actor can come into the country, right? Even if they're wealthy or whatever they might have going. Like you don't want to bring a drug dealer in here, right? But at the end of the day, they'll vet the people, and then they're getting money on top of that. If you haven't noticed what Trump is doing, everything he's doing is focused, ultra focused on just like a business. He's running the country like a business in the aspect of like his business is in trouble, right? And it's in trouble, and he's trying to find ways to get above that red line, right? They want to get back into the black, right? They want to get back to being successful, right? And this is one of the many things that he's doing. The thing we did with like I mentioned, with making English the official language, it's trying to save the federal government a lot of money, right? And then the Gulf of Mexico thing to become the Gulf of America, right? Allows them, because what Biden did before he left, he tried to block that. Right? So they find little semantics and stuff like that. There's a lot of smart people that's working for Trump, too. And besides himself being, this is his element, dude. This is where he thrives. But I just was amazed. I just wanted to share that with you guys, man. Because when I saw that, dude, I was totally blown away by it. That he would come up with an idea that there's little that should surprise me when it comes to this president. But there's not a day that doesn't go by where something catches me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. Right. And again, this is why I like doing these videos. I'm gonna stop it right there. Just wanted to give you the highlights of that. But definitely go check it out online, because I do want to start shifting over, man, because I'm running out of time. Hey, Cygnus, Andrew Tate would buy one, and some other millionaires. I can also see Chinese businesses buying it to avoid the CCP. Yeah, Jack Ma, Jack Ma, 100%. You don't think he would want to buy it? Right, because a lot of people, right, they can just feel people, they can go to Singapore, which I think they would prefer to go to these other countries, but China has such a big reach, right? But if they come to the U.S. and the U.S. citizen, China can't touch them, right? And yeah, you're right about Andrew Tate, because I think he's in Florida right now, right? The Tate brothers, they got out of Romania or wherever they were. Yeah, a ton of people will be doing that. So there is this feeling that he's catering to the rich, which he is, but also that you could bring in the wrong element. I was like, bro, dude, people that are going to buy the card, and like I said, I'm pretty confident they're going to vet them. And you see what they're doing with immigration right now, dude. If they're doing that with immigration, they're definitely going to do that across the board, right? Because you don't want bad actors in the country, because that defeats the purpose of everything that they're doing, right? You know what I'm saying? So, all right, really quickly, guys, we're going to shift to this, which is the main reason I wanted to do this video. But I also wanted to touch on these other things, man, because it's amazing to watch. Shall we share the screen? Sorry about the dog. But this is, dude, like I said on Twitter, man, I was like, this is the best season of The Apprentice I've ever seen. And again, full context, dude, go watch the whole, press conference. It's worthy of watching, right? But this is the fireworks aspect of it that I wanted to share with you guys.
People, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have
Sorry, there's video out there showing that.
been to
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of the
will
United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're
I'm
doing.
not.
Dude, man, this thing went so south, so far south, like really quickly, right? Because they're getting to the nitty gritty of what's going on with all of this kind of stuff, dude. And the problem with Zelensky, man, and shout out to my girl, man. She's on X, and she was actually part of the FTC, Microsoft FTC thing that was going on. Lulu Mastervey, dude. If you guys don't follow her, dude. And she broke it down perfectly, where she talked about, who's holding all the cards, and you don't come into this situation like Zelensky is, dude. He needs our help at the end of the day. He needs us, we don't need him. So what you're watching him do right now, dude, you don't do that. Wait, that's my thing on. Hold on, guys. Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure my mic's on. All right, let's get back on this.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you, You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was-
have the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm
Yeah,
very
you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you think?
Yeah, dude, it's funny to me how narrow-sighted he is. I knew this. Look, dude, if you look at this guy, dude, this guy is definitely out of his element. Dude, he should not be the president of Ukraine, right? If you guys look at the history of Zelensky, man, the how he got elected is beyond me. But anyway, he's in this position. But his whole, and I kind of understand this, dude. His perspective is everything about his country. But again, man, you don't come into somebody that you're trying to ask help for and then act like this, dude. You just don't. And for me personally, if that was me, dude, I'd just walk away. I'm like, I don't deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the most messed up part about it, dude. He's being very disrespectful, man. That's what JD Vance is saying. And the reason for some people, man, they're like, what, JD Vance, dude, he's a Marine, bro. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, dude? He's a veteran, and on top of that, he's a Marine. Bro. You're not gonna come into this man's house and talk with, be disrespectful, man. Roll your eyes, your body language all off, dude. Trying to talk over, dude. You're the president of Ukraine, bro. This dude is the leader of the free world, right? So that's why he's trying to be, and he's trying to be magnanimous, bro. Trump's trying to be magnanimous. Like, look, dude, you don't have the cards. You don't have anything.
You're
Think about
gambling with
what is
World
thinking
War
about.
III. And
Yeah.
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you.
Far more than a lot of people said
I'm very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October.
Oh, snap! Yeah, he did. He did do that. Forgot about that. That's why he wanted Kamala them to win, right? So you didn't have to deal with this because he knew, dude. Look, dude, just a couple weeks ago, right? They asked him, "Where's all the money?" Dude, he don't know where the money is. All the money that they've been giving him. And again, I mean, look, I'm not trying to defend this dude at all. He should know, right? But again, and that's a lot of us too, right? That these people that be following the money in. But yeah, I forgot he did.
Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I,
You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from...
Man, dude, he just. Yeah, this is unbelievable, man. Now that I'm watching it like this, dude, because I was kind of like watching it like fat quickly, right? Because I was on the break, but yeah, dude, that's this dude. The only reason Russia hasn't been able to come in and annex their whole territory is because the weapons we sent them. That's how powerful our weapons are. Our weapon systems are very advanced. Able to keep them at bay. Plus, they don't. Plus, Russia's not sure what we're gonna do because The Walking Dead was the president the last 4 years, but now you got a new president in there.
From the very beginning of the war, we've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
allowed.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is so nuts, dude. There's people out there that are like, this is so embarrassing, man. This is awesome. I hope they do this like every single time. I want to see everybody in there, dude. I didn't watch the Ken Starmer thing, or when I think Trudeau was here. I didn't get a chance to catch up with those, man. But dude, I'd sign off on this 100%, man. I hope the president does this every single time, dude. This is right up there. Well, maybe not as good as Solo Leveling or playing a vow, but it's right up there, man. That's why I'm doing this video.
I heard it from Putin in 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
Accept that there,
thank you
accept
to
that,
American people.
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I
over
understand,
there.
sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there.
I'm-
Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again.
running.
I have Dave. Look at his face, dude. And look, guys, look. This is just around this, man. Look, there's a lot of stuff going on in Ukraine. Both with Russia, people are losing their lives and stuff like that. That's why the president's right, man. You got to sit down. You got to try and end this stuff, dude. Because we can't come in there and do this, man. Right? We can't, because this technically is not our business. It's not, and we have other responsibilities we have with actual allies around the world that we have treaties with. That's who we're responsible to. The people that should be handling this is the Europeans, but they become so reliant upon us, dude, and ungrateful as well. Right? I hear them all the time, dude. I don't really care that they talk trash about America, and the reason why I don't care is because we're the big man on campus. Of course, there's going to be jealousy, there's going to be resentment. That I totally understand. But what I can't stand, dude, is when you do try and help them, or you offer to do certain things for them, and they can't reciprocate just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even to help us out, just to help themselves out, dude. They become so reliant on them, they've gotten lazy, and they've gotten complacent, and that's unfortunate for them, because at the end of the day, man, you should never actually. I mean, this is a big ask and stuff like that, and one of the things I do like that Europe's doing is they begin to realize that they can't really depend on us. Right, because they can't depend on us because they want us to do certain things, but they don't have the influence over us to do that. Right, and that's one of the reasons they've had resentment on us for the last, 4 or 5 decades. Yeah. Anyway, after World War II, man, because we dictated everything to Europe and other countries. This is why when you have a new president, especially someone that's going to do a lot of changes like President Trump, all these guys react, they congratulate him, they come and see him, like Zelensky's doing. I give him credit for that much, right? But dude, you just don't come into the house and start doing that kind of stuff.
I
Low on
know.
soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low
Brad.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
Brad.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a
But I
ceasefire.
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
See, that's another thing that blows my mind when he's talking, dude. You're talking to a person that does this stuff on the regular. Dude. He's telling you right there, get a ceasefire first, then we'll work it out. And there's stuff that we would do to help them, right? But this guy's not listening, dude. You can't, you look at this dude, man, and I'm just like, what, dude, you just want people to die? That's what I've already figured out about this guy. Like, you think you're just going to go in and take out Russia? Number one, it would be us. We'd have to do that. Then we have to deal with China and all these other countries, right? And then we probably get stabbed in the back from all these other guys because they're not going to show up to support us, dude. They can't, number one, right? But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize what time it was. I just talked too much. Again, I should be doing this really quickly. But, dude, if you guys get a chance, dude, there's like couple more minutes to watch this, dude. Definitely go and watch it. Go check it out, dude. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's very entertaining to me. Watching it again like this, though, there's some stuff that I did pick up. But I didn't realize what time it was and I got to bounce. But if you guys like it, dude, I hope you did. And thank you to everybody that joined me. Again, I'm sorry that I have to end it like this because I do got to get going. I'll try and answer it. Oh, okay. Let me answer this before I jet. Oh, yeah. Okay, Cygnus. Yeah, definitely they would. I think I answered that, right? Andrew Tate would buy one and some other millionaires. I can also see. Yeah, I did answer that. Pippi Lippy, too bad Trump didn't slap him and say, who the hell do you think you are, you moron? As a leader and losing the war, every nation has helped you enough and gave you enough. Now it's ending, period. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Pippi, that he didn't. He's not. Dude, watching it again, dude, I'm like, yeah, dude, he should. Trump. That's what Trump's trying to tell him, bro. You're in no position to do anything, right? The only thing that can help you is us, right? And you want to continue this, and we're not going to continue it. Is basically what he's telling him. Because we can't, dude. We can't, dude. We're not going to sacrifice more money, and we can't, dude. We need to handle our own issues in the country we're here, right? And then they'll broker a deal with Russia, right? But again, this is what happens, dude. When this has been the focal point, and a lot of it is like, look, dude, our media, man, the stuff that the country's been doing, all this stuff that Doge has been exposing. This is why the world is in such turmoil right now, especially over the last 4 years, right? It's because a lot of the way we're trying to influence people. Buying influence and stuff like that, dude. That's why I love all this stuff. I'm so glad they got rid of USAID. I knew they were dirty, but it's something else to see the actual receipts, right? And I know what they were doing, man, because I would see it in the news all the time. Other countries would complain to us. Is it's like, we first what we would do, and this is why it's ironic, right? Because China does the same thing, and so a lot of people will badmouth China, but we use the same tactics, right? And it's not like the America of old, man, where you do these tactics. Right, to basically promote freedom, right, democracy, stuff like that, right? Like we've done with other countries, dude. There's a lot of countries that we pulled out of the brink of destruction, right? Either through our military presence or helping them rebuild the country, or both, right? But this is not the times that we live in right now, dude. Everything's so fluid, and so getting us involved in another war is not gonna. I mean, I have no doubt that we would win, but it'll hurt us in a lot of other ways, besides besides blood, right? There's treasure as well, and some of the bad actors that'll come up after that, right? For me personally, I think we need to start focusing on ourselves. And again, if Ukraine was an ally, that would be different, right? And I understand the whole global makeup of everything and how it, I am a proponent of that. People call me a neocon all the time, but the simple basic rule is, dude, if you had, we have a unique position in the world, and I believe it's divine. it's a divine order, right? That because what we stand for and what we believe and what this country is supposed to stand for, supposed to believe. We haven't been like that for some years, and now we're reaping what we sow, man. We reap some of this stuff. Now we gotta deal with it. So I appreciate the president we have now. He's trying to correct it, and you saw him, dude. He's trying. You know, for a lot of you guys, dude, who see Trump, man, he's that's very patient for him, right? Because there's other times, dude, that he'll just rip people. You see what he does to the media, to other politicians, people in his own party, right? I would just run roughshod to the 2016, all of the top Republicans, man, even Rubio, right? All the top dudes they had, dude, and he just ran right over each and every one of them and just absolutely destroyed him and stepped up and seized that Republican nomination, right? And so you know that side of Trump, and you see him in this interview, man. That's why I wish I wanted to show the rest of him. Right? Did you see that he can be magnanimous, that he's trying to help this dude, man? The stuff that we did with the minimum rights, man. Go see what the Secretary of State did. Secretary of State is Marco Rubio. He talked about it. You know, they're trying to work with this guy, man, trying to get in, you know, so that they can deal. But what it is Zelensky wants to have control, and he just needs to go. If not, dude, their whole country is going to collapse, and then other countries are going to suffer. Right? Now there could be a UN country, and that's you might have to get involved. And that's another thing that people don't realize. That's what Trump's trying to do this right now. Anyway, guys, like I said, I ran over. Pepe, man, great commentary, bro. Thank you. Yeah, maybe that would have helped him, Pepe, 100%. Cygnus, man, thanks for being here. Sega, man, my brother, thanks for stopping by, bro. I'll try and do something tomorrow, man, with the Xbox stuff. But I'm definitely going to talk about Avowed later, too. All right, Faded, man, I appreciate you being here, dude. Everybody that stopped in, I hope I didn't miss anybody. But if you like this kind of commentary, man, stay tuned, man. I got a bunch of other stuff. I want to get a little bit more discipline and start putting this stuff out. But I had to talk about this. And, of course, the other videos I shared as well. This is like 24/7 news cycle when it comes to Trump. Like you know, it's almost like Xbox. Dude. He just dominates everything when it comes to the, and even more than Xbox, dude. Was this politics, entertainment, everything revolves around this dude. And I'm here for the ride, man. Enjoyed every minute of it. Okay, so Xbox on the channel, host Sega Forever. We out.